Hello, everyone, and welcome to day two uh, webinar of Performance Management PM. This is your instructor, Rizwan Maniya. I hope you all are well. First of all, I really want to apologize for the yesterday's session that we had to postpone to today because of massive power failure that uh, due to which we were not able to take the session. And then I want to apologize for today as well because we had to change the timings of the session 1.5 hour later due to another unexpected emergency. So I hope you all are doing well, and I hope the first day of webinar went well for those who were part of the live class or those who have seen the recordings. In that first day of webinar, I covered uh, very important two areas. The first was relating to the activity-based budget, which now uh, is being tested more in the examination, so the frequency has gone up. And number two was the relevant costing. Very good question that we did. So we did the latest questions in the first day, the one that are available in March, June 25 exam sessions. Today is day two, and today is a new day with more things that we'll be covering today. Yes, the focus will be on very important areas as well, the techniques and all. So today's session is very important. Again, I want a quick confirmation from you people regarding my voice is clear to all of you. Can you see the video and screen everything? Great. Thank you very much for your confirmation. It's now time to start the session. So, being the WIFI's principal, I'm sharing my number for any help, guidance, feedback. You can contact me at this number. Being the principal here, I will try my best to resolve your issue and whatever problems you have, I'll try my best to resolve it. So you can just note down the number for that purpose. Uh, number two is the global WhatsApp groups that you should be part of for performance management. The team will just share the link with you right now. You can see the team will share the link in the chat box. If you're not part of the PM global community, please make sure that you join the community, the global community of performance management. Here you will see me, plus you will see other students as well. The students who are giving PM, they have given the PM. It's a global community, so it is a good chance for you to remain connected with important stuff and everything. So please make sure that you should be part of this if you're not part of any of the free performance management global groups. Third is the number of the support team. As you can see, support team will also be very much happy to help you in relation to the global group link later on if you watch this session in form of recording, so they can share the global link with you as well if you don't have that link. Plus, for any enrollments and all, you can contact the support team. I have mentioned the first day one that the revision camp has just started from today, so you can enroll in WIFI's revision camp, which is a very important revision camp. I'll give the details of that. So let's begin. Day one was relating to a lot of important areas that I covered. Day two is today. We'll be covering another very key things relating to performance management. Day three is grand revision, which is part of the paid batch, as I already have mentioned. So now the revision batch has started. The enrollments in revision batch have started from today. So you can join the revision batch, which includes pre-recorded content of important areas. Those areas that are likely to be examined in the paper. This revision batch includes not just the areas, but includes very good key 25 to 30 questions as well, with the solutions mainly, that if you do those questions and solutions, if you want to watch, so that will give you good practice for this paper for upcoming attempt. So for upcoming attempt, the revision batch is very important, very crucial, and all the self-study students who are doing preparation themselves, who are not part of our regular batch, who are not part of our recent batch, can join these can join this revision camp, which will include pre-recorded content of important areas, and as I mentioned, very important questions, 20 to 25, 30, 35 questions that one can do and prepare themselves for the examination. Moreover, it will include two mocks will be part of this. One will be the live mock that we'll conduct, and second will be the debrief. Sorry, and second, we'll mark the mock, we will check the mock, we'll give you the feedback, followed by a followed by a live debrief session that I'll conduct, where I will solve that entire mock in front of you. So it will give you a very good feedback. See, mocks are important for exam passing. A good rehearsal, a good net practice is always good before the final exam, final match. So this mock will ensure that uh, you have that confidence to pass the paper. Time management, everything will be tackled properly through the mocks. But this is not the end. There will be another mock that will be complimentary mock, that also will be supported with a recorded debrief in this revision batch. So revision batch, second important thing that we are offering is the mock facility, followed by a grand revision, which used to be day 3 of our webinars, but now it is part of the paid batch. So the grand revision will be part of the paid batch. You can get a good 2.5 to 3 hours proper revision of all the knowledge base areas, other than these webinars that we are conducting, which again will be a very important booster for examination, before examination. So that will be also part of the revision batch. There will be a very proper plan that will be shared with you people for this revision batch. A proper plan will be given to you as to what needs to be done, how to cover the recorded content, and moreover, we will also be giving you the dates of the grand revision, the live mock, the debrief to be held, the result announcement, and the grand revision, everything. So it will be a good plan for you to join this revision camp if you are a self-study student, which and this revision will give you everything that is essential in the last month before the examination. If you are interested and if you are not part of my paid or regular batch, this will be a good option for you. So you can contact the support team at the same number that I showed you earlier. I'm writing the number here again. It's 92324 9221387. You can contact the support team and they will again be very happy to help you, give you the details. From today, the batch has just started. Today is 6th. It is the first day of the revision camp. It's the best time to join. Make sure that you join if you are a self-study student and you need the proper guidance and motivation and practice before the final examination. So here you go. That was the details about the revision camp as well. Let's begin with today's topic. We are dealing with financial and non-financial performance area, which is part of performance measurement. Performance measurement is one of the most important sections of your performance management exam. And the topic that we'll be covering today is value for money, known as VFM. Generally, what I've seen, people are struggling in this area. People face difficulty in this area. Students are not very much, comfortable when it comes to VFM, when it comes to value for money. So to give them that comfort level, to ensure that they understand what VFM is, to give them the clarity how to attempt a question, this session, this webinar will be very, 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 very useful. Okay. Followed by that, we'll be discussing the theoretical drafting part, the technique to draft the answer, which again people struggle. Whenever we get the results, whenever I receive the student feedbacks, my exam performance report, whenever I receive that, my exam performance report, I've seen many times that students are struggling in CRQs, and in that too, especially the CRQ that pertains to performance measurement, they are struggling in that. So there are multiple reasons, like they do not know how to draft the answer, they are not good in terms of drafting the answer, sometimes they don't understand the question requirements, sometimes they are not able to link with the scenario. So all these problems do create an issue for them, and they are not able to pass. So we will be discussing how to draft the answers as well. Moving towards section A, in order to ensure a balance coverage in the webinar. Day one, we covered CRQ and an MTQ. Section B today will be looking more towards section A, the isolated 15 OTs, what needs to be done, what are the techniques, how to find the answers easily, how to select the options and all will all be discussed today. And the smart paper solving technique, wherever possible, I will be using that as well. So this was all about the today's plan, and let's begin with value for money. Please be with me till the end of the session, because the session is useful, important, and will give you right motivation, knowledge, and experience, and will help you to pass the exam as well. Now, let's begin with the topic of value for money. What is value for money? What VFM means? So first of all, there are two organizations. One is a profit organization, one is a not-for-profit organization, right? Now, I want to ask few questions from you people as well. You tell me, does not-for-profit organization, as profit organization earns profit, does not-for-profit organization also earns profit or not? It's a very common question I'm asking you. So please, can you tell me, does not-for-profit organization allowed to earn profits? Right. So yes, they do earn profits. They are allowed to earn profits. Not-for-profit organization are those that may earn profits, may not earn profits. It depends. But the key thing is, yeah, ACCA is a good example. They earn massive profits, okay? And you are their customers. You know what I mean to say here. So what I'm trying to say here is, like, these not-for-profit organizations are organized in such a way that their core objective, primary objective, most important objective is not to earn profits, okay? So their core area is not to earn profits. They are not designed purposefully to earn profits, but they are allowed to earn profits. If you compare this with a private organization which is in place because they want to earn profit, because they want to maximize their shareholder returns, this is not the case for not-for-profit organization, which could exist for educational work, which could exist for some social welfare work, which could exist for the charitable reasons. So the purpose is to serve that purpose for which they have been established. Like a hospital could be a not-for-profit organization. Their objective should be to provide good health care to the citizens, to the people who are living in the country. And at an educational institution, which is a not-for-profit organization, is there to provide best quality education to the citizens, the people who may not afford education. So that's the purpose of a not-for-profit organization. Now the question is, because they are not designed to maximize the profits, because they are not designed to earn profits, the question is, from where we'll bring that motivation, from where we'll bring that mindset to improve their performance and to judge their performance. So for that we have a solution, and the solution is known as VFM, value for money check. So when I say value for money check, it is very simple. I will be looking at economy perspective, I will be looking at the efficiency perspective, I will be looking at the effectiveness perspective. So these three E's are the one that I'll be looking at in terms of their performance assessment. When you are assessing a performance of a not-for-profit organization, you can check their performance, keeping in mind how well they are performing in terms of economy, how well they are performing in terms of efficiency, how well they are performing in terms of effectiveness. I hope you are getting my point what I'm trying to say. Now, let's begin first of all. What is economy? What you think economy is? What your mind says about economy? Any quick answers, please? For you, what is economy? Okay, so I am receiving certain answers here, like cheaper material use, buying cheaper and best product. Very, very confusing statement. Okay, what else? Cheaper input for good quality output. Okay, now, first of all, let me tell you, economy is very much connected with the input resources. Okay, input resources. So it is very much connected with input resources, which means whatever resources you will input in the organization, economy relates to that. Now, resources, there are so many resources like the manpower, the people who are working with the organization, the materials. Uh, so these are all resources that you input in the organization. Like, for example, if it is an hospital, so doctor is your resource. If it is an educational institution, teachers, staff are your key resources. Like, so it is a social welfare organization. So people who are working there, staff members again, will be your key resource. So whatever resources you are inputting into that objective achievement, those resources should a one that should be cheaper for you, which means the cost side of those resources should be cheaper. But the problem is this only thing that we have to consider in economy? Is always buying something very cheap is the focus? No, cheaper, but for the required quality. Quality is something that we cannot compromise. Quality is something that we will not overlook. So there is a standard to meet. There is a minimum standard that we have to meet. So based on that minimum standard, like for example, our work says we have to buy a B grade material. Okay, B grade material is acceptable for our work. So now we have to ensure that we'll not buy C grade material, we'll not buy D grade material. In category of B grade, we have to go with the lowest option in that case for the required quality. So that's economy for you, right? So it's an input measure. Mainly we say that this is a one that focuses on input a lot, and the cost of that input should be lowest for the required quality. Followed by the second E, and that is known as efficiency. Efficiency. Now, what efficiency looks at? Any idea, anyone? What is the focus of efficiency? Okay, efficiency is basically, I can say efficiency is an input to output measure. So in efficiency, the focus is on both. The focus is on both. It is not just the input we are considering. We want the output that we get from input should be maximum. The benefit that we are getting should be maximum. The output that we are getting should be maximum. So basically, this is a one that deals with input to output relationship. Whatever input you are putting into the system, it should provide maximum output, maximum benefits. Like for example, uh, in terms of an education institution, I would say, so my one teacher should teach maximum students. In terms of hospital, it means one doctor should provide treatment to maximum number of patients. Maximum number of patients. Okay, this means the input resource should provide benefit or output should generate output that should be the maximum output. Okay, so this is efficiency. The more the output you are getting per resource, the more efficient you are, the more good performance you have shown in that area. So this is efficiency. So I hope this is clear. Like for example, as I said, number of students taught by teacher is a measure of efficiency. Number of patients treated by the doctor is a measure of efficiency. Okay, good. So what is economy? Input measure. Like, like cost, salaries per teacher, salaries per doctor. So it has cost aspect involved, whereas efficiency is number of I can say number of tons of garbage collected per staff member, right? This is for the cleaning company. Okay, so this is what, this is a one that deals with input to output. It indicates how much is the output in relation to the inputs invested. Okay, then comes effectiveness. For me, it's daddy of all. Effectiveness. Yes, whatever outputs you have, whatever results you have, the question is, are the results fulfilling the objective or not? Are the results achieving the objectives or not? Objectives, which means their main reasons for existence, why they are, why an educational institute is into existence, because they want to provide high quality education. So the answer is high quality education being achieved by the outputs? Why hospital is into existence? To provide good medical treatment to the citizens. So the answer is my treatment is achieving the purpose? Are we providing the best health care to our citizens or not? So objective achievement, effectiveness will question. Effectiveness is a question in relation to whether we have achieved the objectives or not. So whatever the results are, the question is, are those results objective oriented, result oriented? Yes or no? That we have to answer. So effectiveness is a measure that focuses on objectives achievement. Objectives achievement. But now let me tell you one thing, my friends. Never consider economy, never consider efficiency, and never consider effectiveness in isolation. Now, for example, good economy means what? Good economy would mean, for example, good economy would mean that the salary per teacher, salary per tutor is lowest for the required level. We somehow manage to save in terms of salary. The cost is down. So it's good. From cost point of view, if you are paying less, it's economical. Okay. But you cannot just be happy. You cannot just be happy in terms of economy. You also have to see what impact this will have on efficiency. So if you have tutors that are cheaper, so the question is, how many students they are teaching? Students per tutor, students per tutor, students per tutor. So if you have the tutors, can they handle big classes? Can they handle students that are big in numbers? So this is efficiency. If you are having more students per teacher, So it is efficiency. It's a good efficiency. And again, you'll be happy. Yes, the resource is teaching more number of students. The output is the student. Okay. But the problem is effectiveness. And what is that? The passing ratio, the passing ratio is bad. Less number of students are passing. The passing ratio is bad. The passing ratio is bad. Now, will you award that institution in terms of economy, efficiency? Maybe yes. But is it achieving the objective? No. So I cannot just say you've done a really good job here by compromising here. You need to realize this fact that these three are interrelated. Sometimes too much cost saving here can affect effectiveness. So it is very important to strike a balance between these three. You cannot go to such a cheaper level where your efficiency also goes negative and your final results are also going negative. So all the three are interconnected, are interrelated, and you have to see whether an economical service is effective or not. If an economical service is not effective, it's not a good performance. If cost cutting is good, but because of cost cutting, your final results are not good, your objectives are not being achieved, it's not a good result. It's not a good performance. So remember, do not consider economy, efficiency, effectiveness in isolation. Okay, so always you have to see the impact. If you have provided any service that is economical with effectiveness, then you are beautifully balanced into a situation, and that is the perfect scenario. But if it is not the case, it's not a good performance. So I hope this is clear. I have set the basis for VFM. I've set the basis for economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. It's now time to go and solve the question. But before that, because we are dealing with a 20 mark CRQ, just want to set up something else for the theoretical area so that you can deal with that once we start. So remember, the scenario based questions or the CRQs that you are dealing with, you have to first of all find out one thing, and that is that the question requirement, what the question requirement is asking you to do. So remember, there are two types of questions that will be examined in the paper, and I'll tell you the importance of these as well. Please be with me. It's a very important discussion. See, two types of questions that you will be tested in the paper. One is knowledge based and one is application based. Now, what is knowledge based stuff? Knowledge based stuff means those requirements that doesn't require linking with the scenario, that require knowledge based answer, like for example, explain economy, explain efficiency, explain effectiveness, is a knowledge based question. Okay, knowledge based questions do have less weightage in the paper in terms of marks. Then comes application based, is a one that you have to link with the scenario. This is what you have to link with the case study, and this requires practice. This requires understanding. Linking with the case study is important. So application based questions will have more weightage in the examination in terms of marks, and if you are able to do this part properly, you are in a good position in terms of CRQ's narrative side. So you have to determine, is the requirement knowledge based or the requirement application based. So what I have done, what I tried to do, I tried to give this clarity to the students a lot of times, and for that, in my paid batch, in my paid groups, and on my paid portal, I have made a very $1 million document for people by the name of theory drafting made easier. And in that, I've segregated all the attempts questions into knowledge based and application based. Along with that, I've also explained how to write the answer, how to start the answer, what needs to be done. I'll just show you that in a while once we move ahead. So the first thing that you have to do always is to figure out the question is knowledge based or application based. So in case of application based, the question will be of that type that will ask you to discuss the problems for Apple company, discuss the problems of rolling budget for BAT company, discuss the advantages of zero based budget for LRA. So they will take the name of the scenario, they will ask you to discuss the problems of certain technique for this company in the context of this company. They might ask you to give these suggestions for improvement for XYZ company. So it is very clear now that this is application based. Now what I have to write is should be linked with a scenario. I cannot abruptly write the basic stuff that I have in my mind. In knowledge base, you have the liberty. Like if they say, state the advantages of incremental budget and they don't give reference of the scenario, you simply write that without linking. But when they say, explain the advantages of activity based budget for X company, for Y company, for Wifi, for Rizwan company, for Peter company, for John company. That is where you have to write the advantages that are related to John company, that are connected with Rizwan company, and that is where you get more marks. More marks. So the first thing to look at is knowledge based requirement or application based requirement. Number two, break every requirement into verbs, into objects, into verbs, into objects. What are verbs? Like state, explain, discuss, compare, calculate, evaluate, justify, recommend. These are the verbs that comes in the examination. So every verb is an action to perform. Verb is indicates what? Action to perform. So they have different meaning. State is different to explain. Explain is different to discuss. Discuss is different to compare. So you have to get this clarity. You have to understand the differences between these verbs. See, examiner will give a lot of respect to someone who understands what state requires and what explain requires. State, explain, discuss, all are different. All have different meanings. So please try to understand the difference between the verbs, because verb indicates what action to perform, in how much detail you have to go, how much detail you have to explain that. And for that, you have to go to the Wifi's YouTube channel and watch a very important video by the name of examinable verbs, that is available on Wifi's YouTube channel. Go there, watch that video, get the clarity in relation to what state, what explain, what briefly discuss means, and take it seriously, because see, it is the action to perform. If examiner is saying this is the action that you to perform, so you have to respect that. If someone is saying drink water and you start eating it, eating something else, so it will be like, what are you doing? If someone is saying sleep and you stand on the bed and you start dancing, people will say he's crap, he's out of his world. Similarly, examiner feels the same way. Okay, so verb identification is important. Number two, objects, which are also known as elements, on what you have to perform the action. on what you have to perform the action, like state advantages of flexible budget, explain advantages of flexible budget. So this is the element, advantages. Now no more definitions, no more drawbacks, no more suitabilities of that. You have to answer what they've asked you. You have to answer what they've asked you, and in the level of detail they want you to answer. Like if they say state the advantages of flexible budget, so you don't have to go into the details of that. You just have to mention the advantages directly. If they say explain the advantages of flexible budget, so you have to write about advantages only, but now in a more detailed way. When it says why, when it says explain, then you have to mention why this is an advantage for the company. And I've explained this several times in my webinars, in the videos, and everywhere. So the focus will be on more detailed explanation. So the object is advantages, but on that object, what you exactly have to do, in how much detail you have to go into, who will tell you this? Verb, verb, verb gives you the clarity that in how much detail you have to write about the element, about the objects. Discuss steps of ABC costing. So steps is what is the key thing that you have to answer only. Compare throughput with marginal costing. So you have to come up with the points that compare throughput with marginal costing only. Calculate material mix variance. You have to just do the calculation of mix variance. So element gives you the clarity about what you have to answer, and in how much detail that answer should go into. Verb will tell you what action to perform on that particular subject matter. Verb will tell you. So verb explains you the level of detail, and object gives you the idea about what you have to write, about what you have to write. So my friends, whenever you read any narrative CRQ question, two things you have to determine in that scenario. Number one, while reading the question, figure out knowledge based question, application based question. Knowledge based question, application based question. Knowledge based, no linking with the scenario required. Application based, yes, you have to link with the scenario. Number two, verb and objects. Verb and objects. What action to perform and on what that action has to be performed. Verb and object will indicate you. Plus, look for extra requirements as well, because your marks are assigned according to the extra requirements or the number of objects asked in a question. One question can ask you about two things. One question can have two objects, two verbs, one verb, two objects. So you have to clearly read the question, split the question into components, and the word and, and, and gives the clarity that what additional we have to write about, what additional is required to write in the answer. So, for example, if the question says that discuss the financial performance of an organization of XYZ company and suggest improvements in the areas where improvement is required. So here there are two things to be done. First, discuss the performance, financial performance of XYZ. So the first verb is discuss. The first object is financial performance of XYZ, means it is not knowledge based. It is not knowledge based. This is application based. Application based. Then the word and comes. Oh, something else needs to be done. And suggest, verb number two. Verb number two, suggest possible improvements where it is required. So the second objective, possible improvements, is what I have to answer, where they can improve their performance. So there are two verbs, two objects, and your marks are splitted according to that. You can never get complete marks by performing in the first part extraordinarily, you will never get complete marks. To get complete marks, to secure complete marks, to gain complete marks, both the components should be answered. So this is what I always explain students about the narrative side of CRQ. I hope you understood my point. Now, what document I was referring you guys, a small glimpse I want to show you that these sort of things are so useful for the students. Yes, my regular students, my research students, and the students who are who will be part of my revision batch, they will join the revision batch, will get access to lot of important reading materials, like you can see here, uh, my compile notes, my summarized notes, $1,000,000 cheat sheets will be available to them. Now, what are cheat sheets? It includes all the formulas and my $1,000,000 techniques that I always teach students to make things simple. Then they will get access to these two things which are very important: the PM knowledge based theory drafting and application based theory drafting. Now, just to give you a quick idea, if I open this document for you people, so it will give you the clarity that how important the document is for you guys. So let me just open this again for you and will show you that how useful this document will be for the students in terms of dealing with the narrative side. And when today we will be doing a question, after the question, those who have access to this, they will understand how useful this colorful document will be for them. So let me just show you this again in a proper way. And all right, now you can see what I've done. I've done a lot of hard work behind this document, and that hard work is since 2007. I don't know whether you were born at that time or not. 2007 till 2024, 23 or 24. What I've done is I have just segregated all the narrative side of CRQs into two components: one knowledge based, one application based. For example, if you see here, it's September December DICECO part B, which says explain why joint processing costs are considered irrelevant, blah 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 blah. So this relates to topic relevant costing. The subtopic is joint cost, and this is a knowledge based question. It's a knowledge based question with no linking required. And then I've also explained here the drafting technique, how to write this answer, what to do first. First, use the concept of relevant costing, then do this, blah, 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 and the official ACCA answer with the marks. So the purpose of doing such a thing was to make things simple. Now, you can see the topic that we are dealing today. You can see the same tested in September, December attempt question. And this question was part A, which says explain the terms economy, efficiency, effectiveness in value of money context. Now, this is a knowledge based question which pertains to not for profit organization. So what you have to do, simple. The drafting guidelines are: use the concept of 3E: explain economy, efficiency, effectiveness. What is recommended? Recommended to learn key points related to this area to ensure ease in writing the answer. And then the drafted answer is available in form of a paragraph having a weightage of 3 marks. So this is a $1,000,000 document where at one glimpse you can see all these CRQ based questions. You can read the answers, you can learn the techniques, guidelines that I've shared with you people, and on top of it, you can realize, observe, figure it out that what are the repetitive questions coming again and again. That will give you the idea of the most likely repetitive area, and you can prepare yourself according to that. This is the benefit of this document number one. I hope you do understand the importance of this document. Then the other document is very important as well, and that pertains to the other area, and which is knowledge based, sorry, application based area. Now this is also very important one. This is also very useful one. So let's download this as well and see how useful this will be for us. Now this is application based theory drafting document, and this is a one where you have to link with the scenario. Like for example, say discuss the benefits for dicey company. Benefits for whom? Dicey company. Okay. So now you have to relate with the scenario. Relate with the scenario. So the drafting guideline says recall general benefits of ERP, enterprise resource planning. Number two, write the benefits linking with the scenario. Linking with the scenario so that you get marks for the application side. Marks for the application side. Okay. One more example, assess the performance of both production and purchase manager. This is a variance question of planning operational application based. So now you have to assess the performance for production manager considering the variances available there. And there is one my own technique that I teach students, the rule of CRQ. I make this very simple for them, that whenever you are drafting a variance answer or performance assessment, you follow the technique of CRQ, which says calculate the variance, reason for variance, interdependence, and conclusion. So this is a technique that I teach students in my classes, and this is something that is very helpful as well. So the point I was making here is this is an application based question where you have to answer according to the situation scenario, work out the variances, read the data given in the question, link that, find the reasons that are scenario based, and present in your answer. So this is application based document, and the drafted answer is also available to you, and the marks are also given here, 8 marks. So these two documents will be game changer for those who have it. The revision students who will join, they will also get access to such documents. These can improve your narrative side massively. Now what all we'll be doing today, you have to just practice that, understand it, and then do the rehearsal based on what I've explained today. So let's now begin with scenario based question number 1. Tip of the day for section C is in front of you. The tip number 1 is answering narrative questions requires a structured approach using clear paragraphs and headings if possible. Okay. So in case of CRQ's narrative questions, no bullets allowed. It's all paragraph based. Using the word item type in CB, you should jot down a very small answer plan, and then you can elaborate it. It depends how much good practice you have for this. Third, make sure you answer what is required to be answered and not the one you like to answer. Sometimes what you like, you answer it. Very recently, one of the student who gave me the feedback, and after June 25 exam, was that I have written about one thing that I really knew well and I missed out on the other area. So, do you think you will pass like this? No. Answer what is required, and considering time management, do not overspend. Do not overspend. So, remember, as per the criteria, you have 36 minutes to spend on section C, and you have to do the rehearsal of that. 36 minutes, always set a timer for you and just try to solve the answer in 36 minutes only. So this will further help you to improve on your time management. I think this is clear to all of you for now. Let's go towards the question and see what is required. Yes, in the meantime, I open the document, guys. A quick feedback. So far, things are going good. Did you understood what all I just explained so far? Was useful? Yes or no? Please share your feedbacks. All right. So here we are. Here we are at our first question for today. It's a good question, a latest exam question. You can see it's March, June 25 exam question. And let me just zoom it further so that you can easily see what it's written. Is the visibility clear? Is it visible now, everyone? Please confirm. See, I think this is more than enough. Okay. So now let's begin with March, June 25 question. Whenever you are solving a CRQ, first read the requirements. Simply first read the requirements. Find verb and objects. Highlight those. Figure out is it knowledge based or application based. Let's read it. Define economy, efficiency, and effectiveness in a value for money context. This is a requirement that you have seen before so many times. It's a very repetitive sort of a requirement where the verb is to define, and object is economy, efficiency, and effectiveness is the object. Okay? Marks 3. So, first of all, it seems to be knowledge based or application based. So, it's a knowledge based question. What do you think? Yes or no? Yes. You have to define what economy is, efficiency is, effectiveness, and a simple mark split is 1 mark for each. Next, explain is the verb. Why it is important? Why it is important that EHT uses a balanced mix of performance measures across 3 E's for 4 marks. So what is the object? The key word in the object is why. Why? Why are you eating right now? Why are you sleeping? Why are you not following my instructions? See, if someone is asking you why, so you have to answer that. You have to tell them the reason for that. Okay? So here the question is why it is important that ECT uses balanced mix of performance measures. A very good question. Next, discuss is the examinable verb. What to discuss? Performance of 3 hospitals using the performance data provided. This is the object. And use the headings. They've already mentioned it. Headings, economy, efficiency, effectiveness. Now, if they are asking you the headings, then use the headings. Simple. Khalas. Okay? Done for 9 marks. Then discuss is the examinable verb. What? Two challenges that the company might face when measuring the performance of its overall objective. This is a very good requirement, not well received by the students, but a very good requirement of exam where they were asking you to discuss the challenges the company will face in what? Measurement, checking the performance of its objective. So what other challenge they will face when they are measuring the performance of its whole objective? I explain that later as well for 4 marks. So it is a very good requirement. The entire question is narrative based. Almost everything is narrative based with no calculations to be performed. And this question and a question like this is something people don't like much. Okay, so let's start and let's make this easier for you. I'm reading the scenario. Remember the first two, one or 2 or 1.5 line will give you clarity about the business, what they do, what is their nature of work, and what it is all about. So let's highlight that. The Eastern Hospital Trust. So it's a simple trust. Okay? It's a simple trust. Is responsible for running 3 hospitals in the east of the country. These hospitals are called Mid-East, Northeast, Southeast. So this is a trust that runs 3 hospitals. The trust overall objective. So you have already gone through the requirements. They were asking about economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. This should trigger effectiveness. Objective is effectiveness. I should highlight this. Their objective is providing, read it carefully and understand the meaning. Provide top quality medical services. Top quality medical services, which are quick to access and supported by excellent patient care. So I've splitted this into small components. This is the best way to understand it. Top quality medical service, okay, which are quick to access, which means the accessibility should be good, and supported by excellent patient care. Okay, so the services should quickly be accessible, and excellent care is important. Done. ECT is funded by government of Azuland and does not charge patients for the services it hospitals offer, which include patient referral by a doctor and emergency treatment. So it's a free of cost service. Okay, so it's a not-for-profit organization. In recent years, the government expenditure has been significantly higher than tax revenues. All important facts, all important numbers, all important percentages should be highlighted. All important facts, all important numbers, all important percentages should be highlighted. So last year, the tax collection was less and expense was more. And the government is trying to reduce public spending. As a result, EHT funding has been reduced. This is what I was concerned about. EHT funding has been reduced. This is a cut down of funds for them. And they are not a profit-based organization, okay? The EHT chief executive has raised concerns that this funding cut could lead to a reduction in number of staffs employed. Oh, because of this funding cut, we need to reduce the number of staff members. Less staff, which may affect quality of care they provide to patients. Okay. The following table shows the actual result for the last financial year for the 3 hospitals compared against the key performance indicators. Last financial year, okay. Compared against key performance indicators. So this is the best thing. Generally in questions, they ask you to think about a key indicator. They ask you to calculate the key indicator. Here, they have done these 2 things for you. They have selected the key indicators themselves. They have done the calculations themselves. Used to assess the hospital performance, the results have been verified by the EHT auditor. So there are no doubts about the numbers. Now, if you see here, I'll just highlight the first or the starting part. where the first three are percentage based indicators. The KPIs, they have identified the KPIs themselves. You should be lucky. You should be happy about it. You should feel lucky. Wow. They have done the calculations for you because the first three are in percentage form. Number one, percentage of emergency patients treated within 4 hours. Percentage of non-emergency patient appointments scheduled within 12 weeks. Okay. Percentage of patients who describe service as excellent. Okay. Next, a score, quality rating score is a KPI. Then average cost per patient. Average cost per patient is a KPI. Then overspend compared to budget. Overspend compared to budget is another indicator for you. Okay. For the first four, there are points. All hospitals have a target of treating emergency patients within 4 hours of them arriving at the hospital. Once they are in the hospital, within 4 hours their treatment should be done, emergency treatment. Okay. In fact, the more earlier, the more better it is. The target for non-emergency patients is that they should attend their first hospital appointment, okay, within 12 weeks of being referred by the doctor. So the target is within 12 weeks. The appointment should be scheduled for them, okay? Third, at the end of their treatment, patients or their relatives, if a patient is unable to respond directly, are asked to assess whether their quality of care has been excellent. That was part of the objective. Very good, good, average, poor. The quality rating, fourth point, score, is an assessment made by an independent external medical professionals who observe the quality of a sample of medical procedures being carried out in the hospital. Okay. A score of 5 is excellent, where 1 is poor. Done? Okay. Clear, everyone? Good. Any problems so far? Yes or no? So I hope up till now the scenario is clear. Up till now everything is pretty much simple and clear. Yes or no? All right. Very less responses, which is not a good sign, honestly. Okay. Let's begin with the first requirement. Part A. Define economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Okay. So, how to write about economy, efficiency, effectiveness? Simple, 1 mark definition. But it should be a complete definition. Complete. Now, what complete means? You have to define properly what economy is, what efficiency is, what effectiveness to get the complete marks. So, we'll start first with VFM includes 3 aspects of performance mentioned below. First heading, you can use the headings. They have already mentioned that as well, okay? Economy. Oh, that was our second part, yeah. Efficiency, but still I can do this. Effectiveness. Okay. Now, what is economy? A simple answer to define what is economy. Yes, please. The resources used by an organization okay should have lowest possible cost for the required standard of quality. Okay, clear everyone? Now, if you simply mention here lowest possible cost, you will not get marks completely. It's not a complete statement. One more thing, required standard of quality and quantity. Okay, done. So whatever the resource input is in terms of quantity and quality, it should be good, acceptable at a lowest possible cost. Done. Number two, efficiency. This measures, this is an input to output measure which focuses on achieving maximum output slash benefits from given inputs. Okay. Next, effectiveness. This measure indicates how well the outcomes have achieved the objectives of the organization. Clear? 3 marks, simple, for 3 definitions. I hope no problems. Now, part B. Okay, very crucial requirement. Very crucial requirement. Here you need to understand what exactly the examiner is asking you to do. So please figure out the verb. Explain. Okay, done. The action to perform is explain. Okay. Now what to explain? Why it is important that EHT. Now this is an application based requirement, not knowledge based. Application based uses balance mix of performance measures across three E's. Very upsetting it is to see that people were not able to answer this properly in exam because they never understood what the requirement is. The requirement is why for EHT a balanced mix of performance measures for three E's are important. What it means, first of all, it means you have to mention why the focus on economy along with the focus on efficiency, along with the focus on effectiveness is important. Why can't we just not focus on economy? Why a simple focus on economy is not good? So how to answer such a requirement? A simple guideline. Let me show you a simple guideline. Okay. Now, what was the verb? Explain. What was the object? Why? Balanced measures. Three E's are important. So simple. First, it is scenario based question. It's an application based question. Okay. And the scenario gave you a hint. And that hint was government is saying the taxation levels are not good enough. So we'll reduce the funds for EHT. Funds going down will do what? Will reduce the income or revenue or cash inflow for the hospital. Hospital will do what? Hospital will go for hospital will focus on cost cutting. As they mentioned, we will remove the staff. So economy will be impacted because the cost will go down. Are you with me? Come on, hello. Cost will go down. How? You will reduce the staff members. If staff members will be reduced, it will affect the outputs achieved. If inputs will go down, outputs would be affected, so efficiency gets affected. Less people, more waiting time, less patients they will be able to deal with. Okay. Moreover, less people will deal with the patients, so they have to work more fast. They have to work more faster to reduce the excess time. They have to work more faster to deal with more patients. and the quality will be compromised. Quality will be compromised. So listen, the question is why balanced measures are important? Because these three are interconnected. Because there is a relationship between the three. There is a relationship between the three. These three are interconnected. A focus on economy only will be bad. You may improve economy, you may reduce the cost, but you are not considering the impact on effectiveness. So scenario gave you the hint, and the hint was very clearly mentioned in the scenario that the funds will go down. Funds will go down. Understood? Secondly, consideration to link between the three E's, as I've already mentioned. And what is the link? Restriction in funding, reduce the resources, less equipments, consumables, lower quality purchases will impact quality of medical services. Yes? Yeah. If you have less funds, you will go with cheaper materials and equipments, everything. Similarly, reduction in staff will affect the quality. So overall, the customer quality will go down. So remember, there is an interrelationship between economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. That is why we should have balanced. That is why we should have balanced measures, balanced mix of performance measures, so that we can cover all the three areas properly. So what are they asking you? Why balanced measures are important? Why focus on all three is important? So you will mention here by writing what? The balanced, this is for 4 marks. Measures are important to consider across 3 E's because 3 E's are interrelated to each other. Okay? An isolated focus on any one will not cover all aspect, as improving one may affect the other adversely. Okay. Now I have to link with the scenario. How can I? I can change the paragraph as stated in scenario that government will reduce the funding for EHT, which in turn will result in cost cutting for EHT by reducing the staff. Okay, and cutting in areas of equipments and materials, okay, in order to improve in economy. Okay, fine. Now if I just focus here and if I just stop here and say, wow, my economy is good, mistaken, mistaken. However, this may affect efficiency as the waiting time may increase due to less staff available, and also this will affect, okay, effectiveness as lower as less staff need to work more and the quality of customer care will reduce. See, the question was why it is important to cover all the areas of economy, efficiency, effectiveness, or all three E's, in order to give you the idea that if this is where we focus, we will lose on the other area. Are you with me? So, please, so let's conclude. So, a balanced focus will help to focus on all the areas and will avoid focus on any one in isolation, as these three are connected to each other. Khalas. Have I answered what they asked me to do? Yes. Have I answered the object properly? Yes. What was the object, my friends? Why balance measures are important. See, one last thing. What I always say my students, if you have successfully identified the object, a very simple, smart way of answering is, in your answer, do mention the object again and again, so that as a reader, person who is checking the script will get to know that this is what I asked in the question. Did I? Yes, I use the word balance mixed, and the answer is also using the same word. So it sets a good impression in front of them that yes, what I've asked, they are answering me. Number one, a positive mindset will be for them. Number two, you as a writer will ensure that you do not go out of the track. So here, somebody asked me why balance measures are important. Your answer is the balance measures are important to consider across three E's because three E's are interrelated to each other. You've answered that. But because the verb was to explain, and not stated, and not stated. So you had to go into the details to explain why are you saying these are connected to each other. So for that, what you did, you said in isolation it's not good to consider. For that, you gave an example from the scenario by mentioning that as stated in the scenario, which was a hint for you given by the examiner, that if we'll, as the funds will go down, we would cost we will do cost cutting, but with this, that will be good for economy, but this will affect efficiency, effectiveness. You used example from the scenario to explain your point, and then concluded at the end to say, see, because of this I was saying that balanced measures across threes are important. Wow. So the takeaway is, use the object in your answer again and again, which gives reader the idea and it sets the direction for you as well. Number two, verb will help you to focus on the level of detail. The verb was explain. You had to mention why you are saying this. Whatever you have mentioned that balanced mix is important. Why? Why important? Link with the scenario because this is application based. Scenario gave you the hint, use that to your own advantage. Khalas. Useful. Understanding what I'm trying to explain you here. So the technique to answer is what? Link with the scenario. Use the word that is given you in the object. Come on, guys. Say something useful, happy, yes or no. At least express your feelings. Yeah, this is good. I'm understanding it. This is one of the areas where I struggle a lot. Okay. Next requirement. Discuss performance of the three hospitals using performance data provided. The best part here I see in the question is I don't have to work out things. I don't have to calculate things. I have to simple use the three headings. Here you go. Control C, part B, Control V. Under the three headings, I will plan my answer. What I have to do, discuss is the verb. You have to tell about the performance of the three hospitals in terms of economy wise. Good performance, bad performance, which one is good, which one is performing bad. In terms of efficiency, the same thing. In terms of effectiveness, the same thing. You are not required to find out the performance measures here. You are not required to calculate them. You simply have to decide which one you're going to use for efficiency, which one of them you're going to use for economy, which one of them you're going to use for effectiveness. Select the measures under the headings, and just assess the performance. Which hospital is doing good in this particular area, which is not doing good, and further, if you want to add that how this will help them to improve in that area. All right. So let's begin with the solution here. Part B, economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. First of all, let's select the one that I will be using under the heading of economy. Uh, Now, first that I can start with is overspend compared to budget. Guys, are you with me? Overspend compared to budget, which means the more overspend I've done compared to budget means my cost has gone up. An economy is about dealing with cost, right? So overspend compared to budget is a good measure for economy. Are you with me? Yes or no? So, yes, let's begin first with the measure of overspend compared to budget will be useful to measure economy for hospitals. Okay. In this case, now let's assess who is the best or the worst. So if you compare these three, which hospital has done the most overspend? Because I will discuss the performance. Come on, guys, can you identify for me? Is this Mid East, Northeast, or Southeast who has done the most overspend? Come on. No responses, nothing. So if you see, in this case, South East has done the highest overspend compared to budget, clearly shows bad performance. Okay? Clearly showed bad performance. Okay. See, whenever you are assessing the performance, not just mention this is high, this is low. Always mention good, bad performances. That is performance assessment. Because if you just mention Southeast is the highest, what highest means? Good. What lowest means? Bad. You have to mention in order to get the marks. So, Southeast has spent more than the budget. Okay. But overall, if you see, overall, all the hospitals have overspent compared to budget, which is important to consider as government will reduce funding for EHT. So keeping in mind the reduction in the funding, overspend is not good overall for them. Okay? Are you with me? Done. Okay. Next, which other measure because the marks are 9. Okay. So, which other measure you think fits in economy here? I have one more, average cost per patient. Average cost is it's a cost incurred per patient. So, the other measure of average cost per patient will also be useful for economy according to the results. Now, which is an underperforming hospital here? So, if you see these three, the highest cost per patient, the highest cost per patient is of Northeast. Northeast has the highest spend per patient, indicating bad performance in relation to other hospitals. But see, sometimes one hospital has a higher cost per patient compared to other. It is not good in terms of economy, but you need to consider one thing, that maybe the high cost is due to the variation in the services that they're offering. It depends on the type of patient coming to that hospital, the seriousness of the treatment, which may require more cost to be incurred. The number of stay of the patient might be more. So it depends on that as well. So we also have to take this into account. Okay, fine. From economy perspective, the performance doesn't seems well, but to take into account the variation that also results in the service due to the different nature of patients, treatments, stay of the patient, all affect the cost at the end of the day. So we will mention, however, this measure will be affected by different types of services offered by hospitals. For example, type of treatment required and patient stay may require higher cost. So there is an element of subjectivity involved in this case. Okay, done? Clear, everyone? But focus on economy will somehow help EHT to find out areas of cost saving. Overall, focus on economy will help EHT to focus on areas of cost saving, okay, as It's critical due to funds reduction. Okay, done. Now, efficiency. What can we use under efficiency? Guys, hello. It is about input and output. The staff we have, how they are, how many patients they are dealing actually. So, measures here that I can use under the heading of efficiency could be percentage of emergency patients treated within 4 hours target, percentage of non-emergency patients appointment within 12 weeks. These are the measures that I can use under the heading of efficiency. So, for measuring efficiency, percentage of emergency patients treated within 4 hours and percentage of non-emergency patients appointments scheduled within 12 weeks will be useful to gauge the efficiency of hospital and its staff. In this case, now let's have a look one by one. As far as the first is concerned, Mid East is the best. Northeast is the worst. Worst in terms of percentage. Okay? A lower percentage of emergency patient treated within 4 hours. In case of second one, Mid East is the best again and Northeast is the worst. So, in this case, both measures for Mid East indicates best performance, whereas North East performed worst in these areas. So Northeast, and mind you, Northeast also had the highest cost per patient, right? Also had the highest cost per patient. And one can even say maybe in case of Northeast, the patient time is more, it takes more time to deal with the patient. That is why we can see less percentage in this area. So so for Northeast, It may be that treatments are taking longer, okay, resulting in more waiting time and even the cost as seen above. See, I have linked this with economy as well. This is how you assess the performance. You cannot even assess performance in isolation. It is always good to link with the other measure. Okay? Clear, everyone? Okay. Focus on efficiency will help EHT to find the reasons for variation in performance and find ways to improve efficiency without without see, now connected with economy, without compromising on economy. Done? Okay. Again, a connection between these two. Now, effectiveness. What was the objective? The objective was provide top quality medical service by providing quick access and excellent patient care. Excellent patient care. So, percentage of patients who describe service as excellent, has excellent, has excellent is the measure. So, I will use this for effectiveness. Plus quality rating scores, quality rating scores. Again, their objective is what? High, top quality medical service. So the quality rating measure will be useful. So we will measure effectiveness by using what? This will be measured by using percentage of patients who describe services as excellent and quality rating scores. Okay, clear? Now, in case of EHT, in case of EHT, okay, let me mention as these will support the objectives. Deliberately, I have to mention objectives here. Okay, now these two measures, these two measures, if you see the performance, who is the best? Northeast. Oh, Northeast. Who is the best in quality rating scores? Northeast. Okay. Who is the worst? Mid East. Also here, Mid East. Okay. So now, if you see, Mid East performance is worst compared to others, whereas Northeast has performed best in these areas. Now, what is the key thing to learn? Just have a look. Mid East, Mid East was the best in economy. Yes, least overspend, lowest cost, but worst in effectiveness. Worst in effectiveness. Northeast, Northeast, Northeast was worst in the cost per patient, was worst in efficiency, but best in effectiveness. You have to mention this to complete your analysis. So it's clear that Mid East was best in economy, but this affected effectiveness, this affected their performance in effectiveness. Okay. On the other hand, North East had spent too much per patient. Okay. Was not good in efficiency, but this helped to gain better patient feedback in terms of quality. Wow, perfect. So this is the complete holistic view of 3 E's. That is why in part B, we were mentioning you can't focus on one in isolation. So the holistic view is available to you here. And you have seen the entire answer that I've drafted. I had to be fast here. So just ignore the small mistakes that we'll fix when we present this answer to you in an official way, as we'll be presenting all the drafted answers to you. But this is what you had to write. So you can see a good answer for this part will be in form of headings, plus the answer will ensure that you do not just comment high low, mention good bad performance, and also look to connect with the 3 E's. Do not just consider things in isolation. I hope you have seen how the drafting needs to be done, how much to write, what to write, everything is clear. Okay, everyone? Done? Any issues? Understood? Enjoying? Is this making things easier for you? Come on. Okay. That's enough, I think. I've covered everything properly. Okay, now, next. Such a long question. 4 narrative parts. Discuss 2 challenges ECT might face in measuring the performance of its overall objective. Many students didn't understand the requirement. The requirement is challenges for ECT related to what? Challenges in dealing with staff, challenges in dealing with government, challenges relating to improving their own performance, or challenges in measuring performance. The word here is measuring the performance. What problems will they face when they have to measure, when they have to check their performance? So, when they want to inspect their performance, what challenges they will face? Many took this in the wrong direction. First of all, you need to get the clarity what they want you to answer. Challenges to deal with staff? No. Challenges to deal with government? No. Challenges in dealing with patients? No. Challenges in improving their performance? No. This is not they have asked for. But what they want is challenges they will face when they want to measure their performance against objectives. In short, if they want to see, okay, have we achieved our objectives by looking at the performance measures? Have we achieved our objectives in getting that conclusion, in getting that clarity, in getting that understanding that have we achieved our objectives? Are these measures good enough to give us the message? Is this information good enough to give us the message? What challenges they will face in that? This is what you have to answer. So to answer this part, first you had to think what challenges generally a business will face. Let's brainstorm it. The data that you are using, the KPIs, which means this information, this is the information that you are using for measuring their performance, okay? Through this information, you are concluding have we achieved the objective or not? So what problems it comes to your mind? Number one, is the data accurate? Is the data accurate? Number two, is the data properly quantifiable? Like if it is a qualitative information, how will I be able to assess it? Is the data complete? Is the data properly collected and gathered? So many questions do come to your mind. So what basically you have to do here is to find out what challenges they will face in order to conclude whether they have achieved the objectives or not by using the data. So first of all, the biggest challenge is subjectivity. Just focus on this with me here. I am using this measure to judge, to conclude that have I achieved the objective? Listen carefully. Okay. Northeast, I said earlier, is the best. Mid East is not the best. Maybe the people who visited Northeast gave excellent ranking for the same service. People who came to Mid East gave good ranking. See, when you get some qualitative benefit with that you cannot measure, any qualitative benefit can you measure? No. So what we do, we convert that qualitative into some kind of numbers like scores, like ratings, like excellent, bad, good. Now if I ask you today, are you satisfied with the teaching today? Rate my teaching in terms of numbers. 1 being the best, worst, 5 being the best. Okay, come on, just rate right now, please. 1 worst, 5 best. Today's teaching, how will you rate? Okay, now someone who is giving me a 5 rating for the same service, the other is giving me 4 rating for the same service. Why? Student 1 gave me 5, student 2 gave me 4. One student Peter gave me 5, one student Sam gave me 4. Because of different perspectives, because of different thought process, mindset. What I'm doing is teaching. What benefit you are getting is a qualitative benefit which is difficult to measure. So the only way to measure qualitative is to convert into some kind of quantitative number. And what is that? Rate my teaching. Rate my teaching. Student 1 said 5, student number 2 will say 4, third will say 3. It is the same services I'm giving to all of them right now. For one, it's the best. For one, it's good. For one, it is moderate. Because you 3 are different individuals. For you, maybe what I explained was satisfactory. That fulfilled your weakness. For someone else, it is normal. Okay, fine. Plus, it depends on the person. There are few individuals by nature, they never want to give extreme ratings. Neither they go with 1, neither they go with 5. They always choose middle tier. It's the mindset. So the challenge for EHT is subjectivity. They will not get the clarity from these ratings even. Are they completely happy or not? Because this benefit is qualitative, which is difficult to measure. So this is the challenge they will face in concluding, have we achieved the objective or not? Like I am confused today. Have I given the best service or not? As people are saying 5, few are saying 4. So where I put myself, 5 or 4? I'm not sure. 5 or 4? I'm not sure. See, a very good live example I gave you right now. Subjectivity. Okay. So let's write about this two problems I have to mention. Following are the two challenges. Number one, if you want to give some heading, that is fine. If you don't want to, that is fine. But always good headings will support your answer. Objectives of EHT are mainly qualitative, which is always difficult to measure. Qualitative measures, qualitative benefits like top quality service may be measured by converting into quantitative measures like ratings or scores or percentages for excellent. Okay. Despite this, the company will not be completely clear as to achievement of objectives as patients will have different perceptions about excellent service. For example, for same service, one patient will select excellent and other will opt for good service. Halas. Done? It is difficult to measure. And for a business like this, hospital providing such a service, it is always difficult. Challenge number one, done. There could be many points that one can write, not just two that I'm mentioning here. It could be related to accuracy of the data. It could be related to the sample who have been selected for giving the feedback. It could have been related to information required both financially, non-financially that they have to focus on. It could be related to information system required to gather, collect, and record the information. Okay? Clear? Second challenge, information system. EHT might have better information system to record, collect, record, and process financial information. However, considering the objectives, it is important to collect, gather, and process non-financial information as well. Okay? Which EHT may not have. For example, recording of feedback scores given by patients. Okay? Or interpreting the results based on that. Are you with me? Clear? I think collect, record, process, and and store as well. Getting the point? So these are the challenges that they will face. These are the challenges that they will face. Information system. And this is not enough. You can write even other points as well. As I mentioned, what other things can you write in this case? As an option, I'm telling you, other than these two. So let me give you other things that you can write. For example, you can even write about data accuracy, the sample of medical procedures that they took were the correct sample. For example, subjectivity, I already covered it. In fact, patients, sometimes patients do give the feedback and sometimes their relatives are giving the feedback as mentioned in the scenario. So there will be subjectivity in that as well, difference of perception. Plus, two patients might have different feedbacks as well. Okay? The quality of the data, time and effort to collect clean data, understand non-financial data, so many other points you can write. So there is no one best answer. Whatever challenges ECT can face in measuring the performance towards objective, you can write it. Just two you needed to write there. My point is, you had flexibility to write so many things. Okay? So I hope you understood, and I'm giving you the variety as well. Let's not confine to two things only. My 2 points may differ from your 2 points. That's fine. No issues. Okay? So I hope this is clear to all of you. Perfectly fine. Ignore these red lines. We'll fix these later on in the final answer that we'll provide. I hope you understood this 20-mark complete narrative questions. And the way I completed it, I hope this will give you confidence, clarity, how these things to be done. Okay? In my final answer, I will also add additional points that one can write so that it will give you further clarity. Okay, this is what all we can write as well instead of these two only. Happy? Good? Enjoyed? Everyone? Yes or no? Now it's time to move towards section A. Let's discuss few tips and tricks for section A. Let's solve certain section A questions. Let's see what to do in section A case. How can we make our life simple in section A? Okay. Section A, 15 OTs will be tested in the examination. These are isolated OTs, have no scenarios connected with. You have to deal these in isolation. Okay. 3.6 minutes you have per question, but obviously the time management doesn't mean every question needs to be done in 3.6 minutes. What you can do, you can simply average out the things. Few questions will take more time, few will take less time. Like simple, easy OTs will take less time. So in 15, I always say select the most easiest one that will take less time, will give you marks. If you need 30, if you have 30 marks here, you target 16 marks first to pass in section A. To get those 16 marks, you need to focus on 8 correct OTs. In those 8 correct OTs, just target the 4 easy OTs first, because out of 15, for sure there will be 4 easy OTs. You cannot disagree with me on this. Maybe 5 easy OTs. So if you are able to solve those 4 easy OTs quickly, you will get 8 marks in less time. And the rest, next 4 OTs, you need to ensure you have to do correct to get 16 out of 30. So by finding easy OTs first, what it does, it helps you to grab marks and within less time, which allows you to focus more on the remaining difficult, which allows you to give more time to the difficult ones. This is all what I've discussed in a very detailed way in my reset orientation for September 25, available on Wifi's YouTube channel, which is my smart paper solving technique. Make sure you watch that. Now for section A, read the requirement first, what they want you to answer. For calculative OTs, rounding of instructions should be taken into account. Rounding of instructions. Third, for narrative ones, theory ones, read all the statement, filter out the wrong ones. I always say here that in narrative section A OTs, there are 3 types of statements. First is the answer. Second is the distractor that will distract you from the answer. Third is out of the box, can never be the answer. Out of the box can never be the answer. Out of the box. Okay? Can never be the answer. So, let's see what distractors, what out of the box and final answers are. It's now time to move towards certain important section A OTs. Those OTs that examiner have highlighted in our examiner report of March 25 and June 25, because they think these were the one where students didn't perform well. Let's see. Why were they challenging? Why examiner has pointed out these ones? Let's see what challenge they offer. Ready, everyone? Okay. Which of the following controls would be the most effective? It's a narrative OT. Which of the following controls would be the most effective in ensuring that internal reports are properly generated and distributed? Internal reports, those that are used within the organization. Which of the following controls will be the most effective in terms of ensuring that they are generated and distributed properly? Let's read the options. Remember, there will be some out of the box statements. Cancel them, filter out them, throw those out of your life. Few would be distractors, maybe one, maybe two, and one will be the final answer. So let's read, let's filter out, let's make things simple and clear. This is a smart paper solving technique for section A. Read statements, understand it, talk to yourself. This can never be the answer. Let's cut it out. And slowly, gradually, you will be close to the final answer. Let's do it. Recipients of reports agreed to whom we have to deliver the report and update it on a regular basis. Option 1. Option 2, generation of reports carried out by end users. Okay. Reports produced and distributed on a weekly basis. Okay. Regional directors produce the report for strategic decision making. See, ideally, you should know the meaning of each and every statement, but practically that's not possible. There are bouncer statements sometimes. So, coming to the one that is close to your concept is the best way to deal with it. Now, I'll start with the last one. Regional directors are those individuals who are part of strategic planning. Regional directors and strategic decision making. Okay? But because they are part of strategic decision making, should they produce the report? Should they invest their time in producing the report? They use it for decision making, but they don't produce it. That's wrong. Should a regional director part of making the report? Stupidity. Let's cancel them. They will produce it? No, they cannot produce it. Out of the box. Second, report produced and distributed on weekly basis. The question is, why weekly basis? It could be daily, it could be monthly, it depends on the needs, on the type of report, on the requirement. Why weekly? Weekly? See, common sense is also something that will help you to solve it. Why weekly only? Wrong. Generation of reports carried out by end users. End users. See, the question is properly generated and distributed. So end users might not be able to extract a proper report because they might not have the necessary skill, knowledge in relation to the report parameters. They might not know how to come up with an accurate report, and neither they have time. They are end users. They might not spend their time on generating the reports. The end users, they might not have those clarity how to come up with correct report with using correct parameters. So that's again wrong, which means A is right. Report should be agreed that who will receive it. It depends on person to person need basis. Okay, and updated on a regular basis. So to ensure it is timely, relevant, not outdated. Okay. So end users will not have the necessary knowledge to understand the report parameters, plus interpret the resultant information. Okay, this is wrong. A is the correct answer. I hope this is clear. Filter out and go towards the final answer. Example 2 is calculative fill in the blank to the nearest dollar. Nearest dollar. Okay, let's read RI to the nearest dollar for the last year. Rounding off is important. You have been given with sales revenue, pre-tax operating profit. Pre-tax operating profit. Generally, operating profit is pre-tax. It's pre-tax. Tax, capital employed. 11,700 of divisional average capital employed related to non-current asset, plant and equipment. Okay, this is for JDR division. The overall cost of capital is 6%. Overall cost of capital for the business, I guess. Okay. But because GDR is in the area where the risk is high, they are in an area where risk is high. So for them, the cost of capital is 9%. Residual income advantages do say that using RI, you have an advantage to adjust the cost of capital. You can use cost of capital based on different divisions' risk that they are facing. If one division is working in an area where risk is high, so for them, the cost of capital is different, and you can use that different cost of capital in their calculation of RI. The most common mistake done by the student in the exam was to use 6%. Why? You don't know the advantages then. Plus a common sense thing. It pertains to this division. Use it. Okay, let's do the calcs here. For RI, what we need to do? I will start with the operating profit. What is the figure of operating profit? 3420. What I need to do? Deduct the notional charge on capital. How to work out notional charge on capital? Should I use 11,700 or average capital employed? Average capital employed. Yeah, complete 19,800 into 9%. 9%. This one. This gives you 1782. Yes. This minus this will give you 1638. 1638. Is that right, everyone? Clear? So the answer is 1638 to the nearest whole dollar. Had there been any decimal thing, we would have rounded off to the nearest whole dollar. The last digit should be to the nearest whole dollar. Fill in the blank requires everything dead right. Everything to be dead right. Okay? Clear? Done. Very nice. Next. Hot area question. True, false. See, if your question is why didn't I use 11,700, this means you mean to say why didn't I worked out based on plant and equipment. What about other current assets? What about total assets? What about, we have to use total assets, right? And I already mentioned 6% is overall. Because I'm calculating for JDR, so I have to take into account the risk JDR is facing. That's why I took 9%. I explained it initially. Please clearly listen. Okay. Now, a very good question. Indicate by clicking in the relevant the new management accountant for H wants to introduce cost, volume, profit analysis. Indicate by clicking on the relevant box in the table below whether following statement regarding CVP are true or false. Okay, let's read it. First, increasing fixed cost by 12% will increase break even by more than 12%. More than 12%. If you increase fixed cost by 12%, break even will increase will increase by more than 12%. Let's check it. Let's check it. Fake numbers. For example, fixed cost is 100. Contribution per unit, okay, is 5. How much is the break even? 20 units. 20 units, it's break even. Okay, clear? Fine. Okay, now let's increase fixed cost by 12%. So what is 12% of 100? 12. 12, right? Hello? Okay. So this will be now 112. 112. Contribution per unit will not change. Will not change. So can you calculate? Let's open the calculator. 112 divided by 5 means 22.4. 22.4. Okay. The break even now is 22.4. Let's calculate the percentage change. This minus this divided by this. How much percentage are we getting? 12%. Wow. 12%. 12%. Simple, man. Simple way to check things. Why create complications? False. If there is a 12% rise in fixed cost, so the break even is also going up by 12%. The question says more than is false. Is false. The question is saying more than. Now, if you didn't figure it out more than, you'll say, wow, the increase is same. Halas, you'll make it true. That is wrong. A simple test. Fake numbers, fake numbers, fake numbers. Use and just check it. So I did a small check and yes, it's the same. Increase is by 12%, but because it says more than, this is false. Okay, next. The margin of safety, MOS, depends on sales budget and break-even sales. What is the formula of MOS? MOS is equals to budgeted sales minus break even sales. Any change in budgeted sales will affect MOS? Yes. Any change in break even sales will affect MOS? Yes. Yes. True. True. Okay? Khalas. Last. Changes in contribution to sales ratio will be proportional to changes in selling price. Okay. Again, let's check it. Let's assume selling price to be 100, variable cost to be 60. Don't ask a dumb question from where I have taken these figures, okay? Contribution per unit to be 40. Okay? What is the CS ratio? 40 divided by 100 is 40%. Done? Done? Good. Now, let's incorporate the change. Let's increase selling price by 10%. 110. Variable costs will be 60. Contribution will be 50. Okay? 50. 50 minus 110. How much is the CS ratio? Let's check it. Let's check it. 50 divided by 110. 45%. 45% is CS ratio. Is CS ratio. Okay. Let's calculate the percentage change. The selling price increased by 10%. Will this also increase by 10%? Let's check it. 45% minus 40% divided by 40%. What is the percentage change? 45 minus 40 divided by 40, 12.5% change. False. 10% increase in selling price. 10% increase in selling price resulted in 12.5% increase in CS ratio. Is this proportional? Completely? No. No. False. False. Khalas. See, this is how you can deal with OTs. One OT is a narrative where you will find out of the box, distractor, final answer. One sort of a question is the one that I did do through the calculations. And one was fill in the blank. This is how we deal with section OTs. Easy OTs first will give you quick marks, will give you more time for the difficult ones. I hope this is clear. And these were the ones that were picked by the examiner, selected by the examiner, classified as the one where people struggled a lot. And you see here, I'm doing these. Right? So I hope this is clear to all of you. And I hope you enjoyed the 2 days webinar. These more than 6 hours would have given you clarity about section A, B, C, theory, calculation, drafting, confidence would have gone up. Please share your feedbacks. Come on. Were these 2 days of webinar useful? Did these 2 days give you the confidence, clarity, motivation? Will these help you to perform better in the exams? Were useful or not? Yes or no? Share your feedbacks, please. Satisfied? Happy? Now, the self-study students should join the revision batch if they want further confidence, because that revision batch will focus on important areas, the practice of important areas, 25 to 30 key topics that will help you to pass, along with all the important materials that I will share, the mocks and everything. If interested, you can contact the support team at this number. Those who still think they do not want to join the revision batch, no issues. Watch my June and March 25 webinars available on Wifi's YouTube channel for further clarity. Do refer these webinars, which will be available on Wifi's YouTube channel, to your friends who are appearing in PM, so that everybody take the benefit. Be part of global WhatsApp groups. You can take the link from the support team or you can message me. And whatever free support I will give, you can take benefit from those in these remaining days of webinars or exams. The regular student, follow the plans shared with you people so that you can take best out of what we are offering. Thank you very much for bearing me for these 2 days, and I hope this will be useful and will act as a game changer for your PM performance. Stay blessed, remain active in paid and free WhatsApp groups till the end. For my support will be there to help you till the last day as always. Thank you very, very, very much. Best of luck. Take care. For any help, let me know, contact me. Bye.